My friend Gadsy and myself were out searching for the last known gold mining claim on Reedy Creek. The remnants of the camp were reported to be at the base of a remote gully. And so with our stylishly good looks,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Great Gadsden! Ta-da!
and a dog, we are off on quite an adventure.
This tiny little creek beside me is home to the last gold prospecting claim on Reedy Creek. It finished operation in the mid-1970s and there hasn't been a claim on this creek since then. Reedy Creek is known for two primary minerals, which is gold and tin. Well, technically not tin, but cassiterite, tin ore. And with the gold price fluctuating so wildly, it often became the case that tin was more profitable to mine. How many tries does that take me to get out, Gadsy?
3 or 4.
Oh, professional.
Yeah.
Only took me 4 takes.
Yeah, on the mark, straight away.
Let's all stare at this beautiful bubbling brook
Where's the bone mine?
while I give you guys a historic lesson on gold prices. Gold had been mined on Reedy Creek
Okay, that's actually in there.
since 1852, and the gold price back then was about £4 an ounce. By the 1970s, gold had skyrocketed in price to $35 per ounce. At $35 an ounce, 1 ton of gold is worth $1.125 million. But to get a ton of gold is a lot of work. Conversely, in the 1960s, tin was worth $2,500 a
I just
ton.
suffered a catastrophic double knee crack on the way down, so you know getting up's going to be exciting.
And by the 1970s, it had skyrocketed to $17,500. And the thing about Reedy Creek is its primary black sand is cassiterite, the ore used to manufacture tin. Reedy Creek is one of those rare exceptional places where you can mine one mineral and have a different type of valuable mineral as a byproduct.
I very much doubt we're going to see any gold, but we're probably going to see some cassiterite, bit of tin, and a bit of steel.
I think so.
There's a bit of steel. There it is. That is our tin. The Woolshed Valley soil has such a high concentration of tin that it is amongst the richest deposits in the world for this substance. This tin is used in multiple things across all manufacturing sectors.
Short ADD mushroom break.
Gold is currently sitting around 3,000 Australian dollars per ounce, but tin is sitting at 26,000 US dollars a ton. And the difference is that there's only a tiny little bit of gold in this creek. In fact, it was a byproduct of the tin mining. Whereas tin is everywhere. Imagine that, Gadsy, an operation where you're mining and the byproduct is gold.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be good.
That would be good.
Ba-doing?
Oi, oi, oi.
That's a nice skull you found there, Fernie. And 50 years ago, that's exactly what the last claim owner was doing here, processing the creek bed for its tin and collecting gold along the way. A little bit of evidence of the mining operation they had going here. This is a wall that was put in to divert the creek while they worked this flat section for its tin. Now you might be thinking, holy crap, Chris, a ton of tin, that's a lot. It's really not. It fits into about a 44-gallon drum. You don't need that much of it because it's 7 times denser than water. It's almost half as dense as gold, but definitely not as dense as some YouTubers I know. At any rate, this is the main workings. The creek here has been deviated around where they had their operation set up. These high walls ensure that the fresh, clean water coming out of the mountainside stayed separate from their tailings pond. An interesting side note is that the Dorado Woolshed Valley region was the pioneer of a tin separation method that's still utilized to this day, able to concentrate the tin up to 70% purity from other minerals in the soil. And this was the claim that pioneered it. The tailings dam here has a discharge port, and this discharge port goes back to their main water reservoir over there that I'll show you in a second. Because just up here, on top of this massive pile of dirt, is a steel cable that I hadn't seen before. That's kind of cool. But in actuality, has the remains of their sluice box. You separate tin the same way you separate gold from soil, using gravity and water, and that's where your sluice box came in. I've actually got a photo of this exact sluice box in operation in the book that put me onto this area. And we just were not expected to come out to the bush and see this still sitting here. Look at that! Fern is showing you part of the plumbing system that they would have had set up to their wash plant. We've got the pipes over there. This would have been bolted onto their wash plant, their classification system and wetting system that allowed the dirt to be turned into a slurry before it went down these runs. And with the way that this is set up, we think it's still in its original position because we have an earthen wall on either side of the sluice run that goes directly into their tailings pond. First earthen wall is just here, second earthen wall comes around here, and that is their tailings pond just there.
The thing that I find truly amazing is that this was someone's dream. Over 50 years ago, someone dragged all this material out into the bush, filed all the paperwork for a claim, and made a real go of it. And due to Reedy Creek's positioning within a national park, it'll never happen again on this land.
That's the deviated creek line back there, and this is where the cleaner silt-free water would have come back to their main water reservoir. And just look at the size of that dam. You can see this dam on Google Maps. Clearly they weren't too worried about the reclamation process after they left. Get your oil! Get your snake oil here, sold by the gallon! Because there's plenty of old fuel and oil cans left around here. But to be honest, that kind of like just immediately made me think of a still, but I doubt that's a still.
Whiskey out here.
What do you reckon that is? Anyone have any ideas?
The doctor.
Just as with gold, tin's price fluctuated wildly depending on world events, so eventually these mines just became unprofitable. Today, in a place like this, it might be worth reopening it depending on the current price of tin. There's still plenty of it left in the ground. It's definitely part of the stand for the sluice. Free plumbing, Gadsy. So much free plumbing.
After discovering the camp, there was really only one thing left to do, and that was to see if we could find any of the tin that they were mining, and maybe, just maybe, if there was any gold along with it. And for those of you who I know will ask this question, yes, we dug around, in, and under the sluice box with no successful results.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, at least not for gold anyway.
How many tins?
A billion tins.
That's a lot of tin. How many Fosters will that let you throw on the barbie before you scull a shrimp?
About 4x.
There you have it, El Dorado's last tin and gold mining claim. Pretty cool bit of history that's still in the bush today, and I can't believe their sluice box is sitting right there.